All right, welcome back to Kanell and Bell. Danny Kanell, Rajah Bell here talking some NFL football and some of the issues that are facing players. Holdouts are one of them. There was a story that came out of nowhere yesterday because I hadn't seen any rumors about this or anything that had happened. But Adrian Peterson apparently is in a lot of debt. I was going to say trouble, but that too. A ton of debt from some different creditors who were trying to seek repayment.
Right.
And it's not just like a car loan. I mean, it is a massive sum of money when you look at it. So it was a so Peterson is being sued for failing to pay back a $5.2 million loan, The Athletic reported. The Athletic had this whole long story on some of the issues that Adrian Peterson is being plagued with right now. According to The Athletic, Peterson, after interest and legal fees, owes $6.6 million to D'Angelo Vehicle Sales, who claimed he had defaulted on his loan in a lawsuit that was filed in New York. Peterson had borrowed money from the lending company to pay off other creditors, and he also must pay a combined $3 million to two other creditors. Just so you're not confused on this, because I was a little bit. D'Angelo Vehicle Service is not a car company.
Yeah.
It's like they mean like a vehicle to lend money. Like it's not an actual auto
right,
they're talking about.
Yep.
Peterson's attorney, Chase Callahan, put out a statement, and it said, quote, "The truth behind Adrian Peterson's current financial situation is more than is being reported at this time. Because of ongoing legal matters, I'm unable to go into detail, but I will say this. It is yet another situation of an athlete trusting the wrong people and being taken advantage of by those he trusted. Adrian and his family look forward to sharing further details when appropriate." There's obviously a lot of money that's exchanged hands. There have been some loans, some money lent. There have been some loans given. And it just looks like another case of how could you be so dumb?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do that to him because this is a very, very touchy subject. It is really hard sometimes to navigate the waters of, the financial institutions that say they want to protect you and they want to help you, protect what you've earned, and they can look you in the face and just be lying to you. Like, I've been lied to. I have friends that have been lied to. It happens a lot, right? And now look, there are guys that live lifestyles that aren't sustainable, right? And they wind up in a lot of debt and a lot of that I don't really have sympathy for.
Right.
But in terms of someone saying to you, "Hey man, look, I got you, here's the plan," and articulating a really, conservative wealth preservation plan and then not executing that, those are tricky waters, and it's hard to understand who to trust.
Yeah, I agree. I shouldn't be so harsh. I have a little bit of a bias because there was an article written on Adrian Peterson probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it was when he was going through his stuff with his child when he had abused him, but it kind of gave you a picture of the world that he lives in. He was having a 30th birthday party, and they described this party as one of those outlandishly over-the-top.
Yeah, that's different, though.
Flew in people from all over the country, paid for those tickets, had elephants brought into the party. He came in on an elephant. It was just one of those over the top.
Yes, correct.
The way they described the party, the parting gifts for everybody were something insane, like Louis Vuitton bags for everybody that attended the party.
That's one of those probably unsustainable lifestyles where you're going to wind up.
And that's one of the things where I looked at it and I kind of made that impact judgment. You might be 100% right. There might have been somebody totally.
Well, I don't know.
Right, we don't know. Right. And apparently, according to his attorney, we're going to find out more details of it. The one piece of advice that I got when I was at this thing at Wharton School of Business with the NFL put on was they kind of warned some of the players. And there were about 30 NFL players that were there. And they were guys that were really interested in furthering their careers, second careers, building a brand outside of football. I don't want to say smarter because the guys didn't have better college degrees or anything. They were just guys that were a little bit more open-minded and really were a little bit more careful.
Right.
And so they were trying to tell us how you can best suit yourself for investments and others. The one piece of advice they said, if it is too good to be true, it probably is. And whether it was an investment deal that Adrian Peterson was borrowing money from one to give to another, whether it was a land deal, whether it was a carp, whatever it was that he was using this money, it sounds like it was one of those instances where it was too good to be true. Yeah. And now he's come to the harsh reality of, I've got to pay these back. And who knows? Tough. Maybe it's a totally frivolous lawsuit. Maybe it's something that he has found himself in, and I hope that's the case.
Right.
Hopefully he's able to fight it. But his attorney doesn't exactly give you the best feeling of, okay, here he's going to be okay. Right. It doesn't give you that type of source. Yeah, Coca found this article that I was talking about. So this is actually, I hadn't seen this. Adrian Peterson borrowed $5.2 million in 2016 to pay off lenders a year after throwing a wild camel python 12-foot ice bar 30th birthday party. He still lives in a 7-bedroom, 13-bath house, and lenders want paid.
Yeah.
So when you do some of that stuff, you put it out there. We had a guy on the New York Giants, a safety, was making $2 million a year, and he had a car repossessed from the parking lot. Like, guys, just sometimes you aren't aware of tax implication, bills, how easy it is to borrow, and the interest rates which you have to pay back on.
Oh, sure.
It's really easy to, just all of a sudden find yourself in, man, I make a lot of money, but whoa, I didn't realize I was spending this much.
Yeah, that's a very easy thing. That's a very easy thing to do. I was making a minimum in Philly, and I mean, I was fortunate enough that I didn't blow through it all, but you quickly look in the bank and you're like, what? Like, that's not what I thought I had in there. You know what I mean? Because you're living a lifestyle. But
you got to pay an agent. You got to pay taxes.
A lot of stuff.
You got to pay property taxes. Yeah. Like, you got to pay income tax. Like, there's a laundry list of things you have to end up paying. Some people hire a nutritionist because they say, and then there is a very much a real keeping up with the Joneses. Maybe Adrian Peterson is watching NBA players.
Well, he sounds like he was the Joneses. Like, people were probably trying to keep up with him.
He was setting the
standard as a Jones. It's always interesting. I always say this, and it's not really an excuse. I don't mean it to be, because once you get somewhere, even if you have never really been exposed to where you are now, you should probably educate yourself to this new water that you're in and kind of acclimate and try to protect yourself. But a lot of guys that wind up playing in the NBA and the NFL for one reason or another, they don't ever really come from money.
Right.
So, you haven't been taught by your family how to protect your money and how to invest your money and what you should do with your money, what becomes important and sustainable to do with your money, right? And so you wind up sitting there like, I'm the first person in my family ever to have money. I don't really know what to do with it, so let's do whatever I want to do with it, And It's not an excuse. It's just a reality sometimes. And so you see guys, like, first thing they go out and do on a $2 million deal, buy a Rolls Royce.
Right.
You're like, what?
Right.
Like, you can no.
That's third of because after taxes, it's probably going to be $1 million.
Yeah.
It's going to cost $300 to get the ride. And
correct.
So a third of your money you've spent on a car.
On a car. And it happens all the time. And it's just because it's for lack of a better way to put it, it's ignorance. Like, you just don't know. You haven't been raised in that environment to understand how far a dollar goes, at that scale.
The thing that's kind of unique about this case specifically is most players have financial issues after they're done playing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the one good thing is maybe Adrian Peterson, he's going to make $5 million this year. He can recoup some of that, start paying it off as fast as he can.
Yep.
Because most of the guys have their problems when their earning potential is far behind them. But Adrian Peterson's getting older fast.
Yeah.
He's made $100 million in his career.
It's a lot.
So hopefully there's some dough set aside that he can cash out and get rid of this, because the interest rates on some of these things are absolutely out of control. I've seen there are predatory lenders too, which are a major problem in our society all across the board, right? I mean, that's one of the reasons we found ourselves in a financial collapse, is because they were targeting lower income people, saying, hey, you can buy a house, we'll let you borrow.
Yeah.
But then they hit them with an interest rate, or as soon as they miss one payment, like there's an escalation in there. And I've seen that firsthand with these predatory lenders coming after guys because of the lawsuit involved with the NFL, the CTE stuff, and all the potential disability cases that could be taking place. Companies will come and they say, well, yeah, if you qualify for, you have the symptoms of CTE, we'll let you borrow $1 million because we know you're going to get it eventually.
Right.
I've had those people approach me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, and then you look at the interest rates, like 27%.
No thanks.
And there's no guarantee you're going to get that CTE payout or whatever it is, or how long it's going to take. Like, but it's really tempting, especially if you're somebody who's been out of the NFL for 10 years and you need a quick inflow of cash. And you're like, oh, I get $1 million up front.
Right.
Sign me up. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in a massive pool of debt there. When it's all said and done, the irony of all of this is, I guess the NFLPA is putting out like memos to all the players right now, warning them of a potential work stoppage. And again, they're taking advantage of players out there. Companies are saying, if there's a work stoppage, we'll help you with your mortgage. It's just there are people that are always looking at how to take advantage of people with some money. It's kind of an unfortunate case, and we'll keep you up to date on that as Adrian Peterson, more details come out.